attempt I've ever made at a YouTube video by myself. One of the most popular questions that I get is, Lane, what resources do you recommend? I really want to go into the faith deeper, and I just want to have some good resources that'll get me there. And so I thought, okay, well, what better way to do that than just to, instead of answering each individual email, to go ahead and put all the resources that I do recommend out there for everyone to see. So I also thought what better way to do that than to have what I'm going to start doing as the book of the month. Resource of the month, actually, is what I should say, because I'm going to recommend DVDs, books, maybe even a CD or two. Who knows where this will go. But this month's book of the month is J. Gresham Machen's What is Faith? This book right here, just to give you a little overview of it, think of it like this. If you went to the dictionary and you said, okay, I want to look up Christian faith, I want to have a good definition of it, this would be your definition of it. These 300 pages in this book pretty much lay out most of what all you need to know about the Christian faith. Let me just read the titles of the chapters for you. So it'll kind of give you a little bit of a better overview. One chapter is faith in God. One chapter is faith in Christ. One chapter is faith born of need. Next is faith in the gospel. Next is faith in salvation. The next is one that actually a lot of people struggle with, and Gresham Machen actually devotes about 35 pages to this subject. It's called faith in works. In a Protestant, we don't believe that we're justified by faith and works. We believe that we're justified by faith alone, but that faith alone is not without works. And he really gets into that well in this book, and explains the difference and what we need to know about it. And then the last chapter is faith and hope. Another thing I'd like to do is just read you a little bit of a sample from it, kind of give you the gist of where he goes. The great thing about J. Gresham Machen, and I believe most people would agree with me, is that he didn't pull any punches, but he took his punches precisely. He wasn't like a wild bull in a barn. Whenever he made a point, he made it so precisely that the point just came across and it knocked down opponents, without much flash, without much show, just very clear, very lucid. And that's why he's one of my favorite theologians, because he didn't need a circus behind him to make a point. He just made his point, and that's the way it went. Here he's talking about the difference between a Christian that really cares about getting things right, like making sure that their doctrine is right, so they don't go out and lead other people into false doctrine. That person, as opposed to the person that couldn't care less, and actually the person that would be opposed to the person that wants to get their doctrine right, because for whatever reason, we could sit here and list them. There's a lot. He says, he's speaking of objections to faith, defining faith. Such objections are only one manifestation of a tendency that is very widespread at the present day, the tendency to disparage the intellectual aspect of the religious life. Religion, it is held, is an ineffable experience. The intellectual expression of it can be symbolic merely. The most various opinions in the religious sphere are compatible with a fundamental unity of life. Theology may vary, and yet religion may remain the same. Obviously, this temper of mind is hostile to precise definitions. Indeed, nothing makes a man more unpopular in the controversies of the present day than an insistence upon definitions of terms. Anything, it seems, may be more forgiven readily than that. Men discourse very eloquently today upon such subjects as God, religion, faith, atonement, redemption, but are greatly incensed when they are asked to tell in simple language what they mean by these terms. They do not like to have the flow of their eloquence checked by so vulgar a thing as a definition. And believe me, J. Gresham Machen in this book, he checks them with definitions. So it's a very, very good read. This book was written, I believe, the copyright for it is 1925. This is the 1946 edition, I believe. And the link I'll give you is to the newest paperback version. It's put out, I think, by Banner of Truth. You can get it on Amazon. the link I'll give you is to Amazon, and I think it's for about $8.80 for the brand new books directly from Amazon. If you look in the used section, though, you can usually get them pretty cheap. I've seen it there, I think, for even $1, which is wonderful for this book. It's just such a great read. But yeah, J. Gresham Machen, what a wonderful theologian. I recommend anything he's written, which you'll probably see in the upcoming months. I'll give you specific books that you can go to about stuff and elaborate on it a little bit more. He's one of those theologians that even though he wrote this book in 1925, if you would have read this and somebody would have told you it was written 2 weeks ago, you wouldn't be the least bit surprised. The same controversies that he deals in his day are the same ones that we deal in our day. They're just named different things these days. It's the same old liberalism repackaged, and that's what he's famous for dealing with. But yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that this is the resource of the month, and let you know that some of these videos are probably coming out in the near future. So thank you all for bearing with me for my first YouTube experience, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.